well. Like I said yesterday, I want to do more of these morning spaces. I want to help everybody get ready for the stock market every single day. I miss doing the show. So I hope you guys are all hanging out with me, excited. What we're going to be doing during this, as we have been in the last couple, is get ready for the stock market today. I want to go through all the biggest news stories we are watching for the day, all the biggest news stories from the morning, note events, earnings, all of that good stuff. And hopefully you guys come out of this a little bit more ready for the day in the stock market. I want to give you guys a couple seconds to get in here. As I am doing that, I'm going to pull up kind of like my Catalyst watch from the week. Okay. I hope you guys are all doing well. Come say hello in the chat, please. I would love to hear what you guys are looking at, what stocks you guys want me to see, all of that good stuff. Good morning to everybody. This is on the Catalyst watch for the week. We had the European Central Bank. They released some monetary statement this morning. They kept rates unchanged. Global flash PMI will be the focus economist. New home sales report at 10 a.m. Eastern. NASDAQ short index interest report will be released at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. There was a couple earnings there, which we will look at in a second. And then photo 3 would be Thursday. So this is what we got on the macro. 9:45 a.m. Eastern, we have a couple data points. I think you traders definitely want to be looking at that one, the 9:45 a.m. Eastern data, much more than this 10 a.m. data. So keep an eye out here. Markets do tend to move pretty nicely, aggressively off of those PMIs. If you guys are seeing this as well, give the stream a like, comment something below here. Triggerman wants us to look at TGT. All right, we'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, this is what we have on the macro front. And these are the earnings from the morning. Good morning to everybody, though. I appreciate you for joining me here. And let's dig into a couple of the big news stories from the morning. Let me pull this back up. First thing we have up here, there is a lot of companies reporting earnings. And I'm just going to go over to Earnings Hub. Switch over to this list view. Probably zoom in a little bit. We don't need to see all of them. So these are some of the names that reported last night: Tesla, Google, ServiceNow, Chipotle, IBM. Here's what they kind of ended up announcing. Let's see how I have Tesla and Google up here right now. Tesla is shaping up the day to be down 6.5%, 7%. Google starting out the day up around 3.5%. If you guys look at this initial move, it was down. These are the 5-minute candles. So it was all the way down to like 185. And then during its earnings call, it fought its way back up. They said stuff like AI overviews is being used by 2 billion different people every single month. They did say that, I had to delete some things that made a mistake. YouTube Shorts is now as profitable per watch hour as their in-stream video, as their normal YouTube video content, which we saw something similar happen with Reels. There we go. We got CJ saying good morning. Option sellers will win on Tesla again. For anyone who doesn't know, Tesla was implying around a 6% move. So we're right about at that level, which means like the people, option sellers are probably going to win. And good morning, Carolina. Appreciate you being here. Quick water sip. As you guys might be able to tell, I don't love that awkward silence. So sometimes I try and fill it. Let's run through a couple more of these earnings from the last night. Tesla, Google, and then ServiceNow, Chipotle, IBM. How are these ones moving? ServiceNow is up about 7%. Chipotle is down about 12%. And then IBM down about 6%. I actually kind of want to dig into all of these. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. Pull this up. Share screen. Okay. We are now on Seeking Alpha. So Tesla, let's see what they were saying here. This is the one I paid the most attention to yesterday. Neuralink eyes $1 billion in revenue by... Okay, that's a little far out. Here's transcript. Actually, what is this? Okay, we'll skip that for now. Most of the Tesla's numbers were not good. Their free cash flow was like 100 million. Wall Street wanted 700 million. I thought it was interesting that they guided towards lower capex. They guided towards capex of like around 9 billion, and they had previously said 10 to 11. But Google came out and said it's 85 billion above expectations of 75 billion. Google BDPS here tops expectations. Cloud revenue rises 32%. This is what we're looking at there. ServiceNow climbed top Q2 estimates and raises full-year guidance driven by strong enterprise adoption of its AI platform, Now Assist. TGM beat estimates and revenue operating income across the board. Biggest losers. Let's zoom in a little. Chipotle told me that they missed Q2 revenue estimates. Total revenue rose 3% due to new store openings, but comparable same-store sales fell 4%. Wow. IBM, Tesla warned challenging. Yeah, this was interesting. They were talking a lot about the tax credits, the big beautiful bill, which is a little ironic because he helped kind of make it happen a little bit. Oh, we got a lot more comments. There we go. I love to see that because he kind of made that happen a little bit. But they're going to be losing that $7,500 tax credit. Also, you know how over the years they were talking about those tax credits that Tesla was making a lot of money from? It seems like that's also going away too. So, this would have been a lot worse for Tesla back in the day, but that's definitely still going to hurt them in the short term. Elon even did say in there, given the, hey, we are losing some of these subsidies here, the car business is kind of changing away, and then you have the other side of it, the full autonomy that is really kind of waiting for regulatory approval. He said there might be a little bit of an in-between period there where maybe there's some weak quarters, and that's obviously not what Wall Street wants to come in and hear you say. Let me just pull up the YouTube chat, see if we got anything going over there. We do have a couple of you guys tuning in. Nice to see you. We got 4 live concurrent. I appreciate everyone on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Good morning, Koshin. I think people, I think people are chasing percentages right now, and that's why the small caps are starting to run. Yeah, I think it's that silly season, though, What are your thoughts on all of these meme stocks, frothy signs of the market? Here, I want to show you guys something that I saw the other day that I was like, all right, this is a little too far. Where am I? There we go. Sorry if this looks horrible. I want to get to this. This company, nothing to do with AI. They call themselves H100 Group. They're just a Bitcoin treasury company. This whole grift here, trying to go off of Jensen Huang and the NVIDIA chips, I was like, all right, we're at a point that's a little too far. So yeah, I have had some of those thoughts around where this market's at right now. We did have a lot of morning earnings as well. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of changing that screen a lot. Let's go back to this. Oh, Mikey B. I appreciate you, Mikey, for being here. Let's hope we get your son learning some stocks and stuff and making some money early. I bought my first stock when I was 13. It was Apple. We're still holding today, so it's never too early to start. Here are some of the earnings from this morning. We had Blackstone, Honeywell, American Airlines, NASDAQ, Union Pacific, Mobileye. Mobileye became a little bit of a meme name for a while. All right. I know I own some Honeywell. I'm actually own a decent bit of Honeywell, and it's down about 3.5% in pre-market. We'll dig deeper there. Blackstone, up 4%. Okay. Decent sized movers. I saw American Airlines had good news. I didn't see the stock was moving down about 5. Okay. NASDAQ, UNP. I don't think anyone cares about the railroads, but we'll still look. NASDAQ, the exchange, up 1. Union Pacific, down 1. Mobileye, L3 Harris, MBOY, LHX. Mobileye up 4%, but this is going to be one of those big movers of small caps. Okay. What I really want to see was Honeywell and Blackstone were actually some interesting movers here. Cool. Switch screen. Back over here. And Honeywell. Okay, so Honeywell EPS came in above expectations. Revenue came in above expectations. They also raised their full year guidance. Not aggressively, but it came in above the expectations. Now, organic sales growth, I mean, a lot of you guys are talking about companies growing 10, 20, 30, 40%. And we're talking about 5% here on the high end, but still raised their guidance. Expansion. I actually don't fully know what that means. Just the EPS expectations came up. The real reason I was in Honeywell and I am in Honeywell is I like the this international strategic overhaul and focus. The company is splitting itself in multiple parts in the second half of next year. I like the model. It's kind of going down around GE. We'll see if it ends up actually playing out like that. You would have to dig into some of the parts here. Honeywell is you might know them for your thermostat or your fans or whatever, but they have a pretty strong automation business. They have a pretty strong aerospace business. There are a lot of ICBMs randomly, right? Let's see if there's any more info here. Beat, beat, beat. What did they miss on? Aerospace. It's aerospace technology sales. Okay, so they missed a little bit there. Building automation, organic sales, energy and sustainable solutions. This is one of the reasons I also like this company. It's marketing, energy and sustainable solutions, building autonomous building autonomous systems, and aerospace technology. I think are industries that I want to be invested in. And I think under this current umbrella of boring Honeywell, not a lot of people have bought into it. Well, not a lot of younger people bought into it. And I think there's some opportunities there. That is one of the names that I am a fan of. The other one I wanted to look at was Blackstone. What happened in this direction? Blackstone sees beat total AUM up 13% year over year. What's SPY up in that time frame? SPY over the last year. Infoline. Okay, that's underperforming SPY. Interesting. Clears dividend, earnings top. Let's see here. Earnings helped by growth in private wealth, credit, and issuance. 1.2 trillion. Above expectations, rose from 1.168 trillion to 100 billion, like 50 billion. Fee earning AUM. All right. That was interesting. All right. Evan, do you think Oklo or Pony is preparing for breakouts? These are not names that I generally type to trade or invest in, but I will say we are in a silly season of a market right now. So these silly type names wouldn't surprise me if they started to go up a little bit. What'd you say? You wanted Oklo, which isn't the right theme with these SMRs and everything like that. This is the 1-day chart. I kind of enjoyed looking at. Let's do 15 minutes. Up 0.4% in pre-market. I mean, I'm not playing around here. And then the other one you called out was Pony AI. Isn't this a Chinese company? Or a foreign company at least? Ooh, this is in the way down there. I need to do this. Sorry for that. Like this thing to stop sharing my screen is right in the way of where I would need to change that time frame back. I don't know. I'm not betting on either of these. TGT, yes, you did ask me to look at TGT. Let's get Apple back up as well. What are some stocks you want me to look at? TGT, up 1%. Do they have any news this morning that I missed? Let's pull this up. Oop, wrong thing. TGT. Data read consumer. No, I don't see any news from this morning. I mean, this does look like a pretty serious level where if it could break above, there's this big candle here. There's a gap there. I mean, I see what you're looking at. Oh, yeah, even when you zoom out a little bit. Yeah, this is quite the significant level we're hanging out here. I'm not a chart guy, but this coinciding with this over here. I mean, I see why you asked me to look at it. Male astrology. Let's put some more lines on here. This feels like one. That area feels like one you wouldn't want to fall behind. I see why you want to look at this chart, I mean, but I'm curious what other people think. Oh, let's get that off the screen. Yep. Trigger. I appreciate you also commenting below the spaces as well. Earnings on August 16th. No, yeah, listen, I see it. I see we're at this significant level here holding back where if this which was support, you can break through that, which maybe could be resistance right here, and you use that as support. There's a nice move up here, a gap, another gap here, which you could argue has already filled, but I don't know. Now, listen, I'm not the end all be all in this space. You probably want smarter people like a Paper Gains or some of these other great traders we have. But yeah, I'm going back to this comment. That's like when the Lemonade Company changed their name to Long Island Blockchain. That was hilarious. You guys remember 2021 when that diner ended up being worth stupid amount of money? Love it. What stock did he end up buying, Mikey? Honeywell's aerospace business is booming. Get me some direct exposure of that. Ooh, we are here at, let me pull this up. 9 a.m. Eastern, so we might be getting a little bit of a news dump here. Again, this is Benzinga Pro. It's solid for this type of headline this time, like when a lot of news is coming out. NVIDIA AI chips worth, no, that's Sorority, came out earlier. Rocket Mortgage named #1 client satisfaction. No, that's dumb. I don't see any major headlines here at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let me also zoom this in a little bit for you guys. Let's try a refresh. There is more, but John brings the Brad magic of Universal Pictures Wicked. All right. I see a lot of these food ones. Roundtail launches 5 additional weekly pay ETFs. Any of you income guys? PayPal and Wix advance strategic relationship to deliver unified payments experience for merchants. So Wix and PayPal partnership. Video app, Warner Brothers Discovery signed multi-year deal. All right. That looked to be a little bit of an underwhelming 9 a.m. Eastern news dump. Not much that I am going to be reporting from there. Oh, wait. Let's get this off the screen. Also, they spend a lot of shit. What's this say? I would have to double check, but I think he started with NVIDIA and Microsoft. There's kind of a GME story there, but that's for a different day. Okay. I respect it. I like the start, though. NVIDIA has been killing it. And then in the pre-market, I believe she was shaping up to the day look pretty good. This is the 1-day chart, 170. See if you can touch those all-time highs. Just only $5 off. We're about a month away from those earnings. Let's power through a couple of these morning headlines. United Health says it's facing a DOJ investigation over its Medicare billing practices. I did see UNH moving lower off of this last headline that we got a couple minutes ago. 1-day chart, which looks kind of interesting too. 5-minute. Yeah, that's a dumper. United Health down about 4% in pre-market trading here. Everything on the 5-minute candle looks huge, but that is a $10 candle. There's a $10 candle. Initial jobless claims came in below expectations, very slightly. This is how many people filed for employment in the U.S. this past week. This is just initial jobless claims. There's also continuous claims. I always love using this chart. Google acquired YouTube for $1.65 billion. Now they're making $40 billion a year in just YouTube ads, not including YouTube TV, plus all the other stuff. Now there's costs, whatever, but clearly they're definitely making. I'm sure there is a segment there. I'm curious on how much profit they're making, but they might even be making $1.65 billion of profit per quarter from YouTube. Here's a lot of the earnings from the morning, which we were talking about. Comment from Nestle saying that they're considering further price raises later this year. This is on the input of commodities going up. They did say, or Hershey's recently did end up raising their prices, which was interesting. This actually kind of came. Cocoa prices have been shooting up, sugar prices have been shooting up, and they finally started to fall down a little bit. And then they raised the prices, which was a little interesting there on the timing. But nonetheless, Nestle either had to do it or followed suit. These are some of the headlines from the earnings call yesterday, which I did think were a little bit interesting. Elon Musk said if we're not making 100,000 Optimus humanoid robots in 60 months, he would be shocked. Jim Cramer, some CrowdStrike comments. This headline yesterday came out of nowhere. I haven't seen too much behind it, and honestly, New York Post, not the best news organization. I digress. Jeff Bezos reportedly weighing a possible acquisition of CNBC cable network. Why own one dying industry with Washington Post and newspapers when you can own two with cable networks and newspapers? So we'll see if that one ends up coming along. I kind of enjoy. Look at what's trending on the side here. I do enjoy watching some of the CNBC every once in a while. I know they get a pretty bad rep, but yeah, it's fine. President Trump said he reportedly considered attempting to break up NVIDIA to increase competition in the AI chip space before finding out, yeah, it's not that easy of a business. And I also thought there was comments yesterday from Tesla and Elon Musk talking about their Dojo chips, which were meant to kind of compete with NVIDIA. And they were saying, yeah, we expect to get 100,000 H100 equivalent chips up by the end of next year. And I saw some people kind of applauding that a little bit. I won't lie to you. My first mind went to, yeah, competing with Jensen is probably harder than you guys thought, right? So. Yeah, we've been getting a couple. Let me get this in the chat quickly while this is up here. I am also live on YouTube. I know most of us love X, and I use this all day, every day. But the truth is, there are some things that this app does need to do better. One of them is discoverability of like live streams after they're done. You know, I make a video at Spaces, it kind of just dies. Whereas on YouTube, it's like that's my page. That's the only thing I end up doing on there. So let me go in and put this in the chat. Do this. Let's hope this doesn't play sound. Yeah, that's muted. Okay. You guys are seeing me do this live. Cool. All right. I won't do that again, I promise. Elon Musk, another comment. That's a pretty big fail of marketing, honestly. The fact that people who own Teslas don't even know that their cars can do what Elon Musk and Tesla say they can do right now. And I find that intriguing. I imagine that is both a failure and a potential opportunity. I am curious to see how they end up getting this number down and how quickly they're able to do that. A lot of Elon comments. I did want to get to a Google Shorts. Google-owned YouTube Shorts is now averaging 200 billion daily views. Do any of you guys use YouTube Shorts? I'm curious. I've been told it's weird to do that, but I am a fan. Malik, I appreciate you being here. YouTube Shorts just shows me a lot of like really good video, like shows and series that I maybe want to watch. Like Billions, it showed me. The reason I watched Suits was because I saw it on there. Jeff Bezos filed to sell more Amazon yesterday. This guy has been selling. Sold another $1.5 billion worth, 6.6 million shares. He had filed to sell 25 million shares, and he is 83% of the way through that. I think I got to like 20.6 million shares have been sold from him, is about where my calculation ended up getting to. And then we have some of the Tesla and other numbers. Looking at the earnings calendar for what to expect today, this was the morning. We do have a couple earnings that people care about. Intel, Deckers has become one. This is Coca-Cola's bottling plant. What is Wall Street expecting? There's actually no expectations there. Wall Street for Intel is expecting. What is happening here? Oh, that's price. Okay. Intel is expect 11.88 billion negative EPS. That's not good. Over the last 17 quarters, Intel has beat expectations 13 times on EPS, 12 times on revenue. Oh, yeah, pretty decent enough numbers. All right. I can look at some of the stocks you guys want me to. I don't trade these type of names, but Iova, I don't know, down a couple percent. I guess it just doesn't even move. The other one you said, Ondas. I've heard of this one a little bit. What about Oscar? I know that became a popular one. Open, what's that doing? Are memes meming? 240 up 5%. Kohl's, that became a random meme stock, down 1. And then what about I've been in RKT? 1590. Okay, down pre-market, down 1. Not great, down 2 actually. UNH with a little green candle there trying to get back. Let's look through the Mag 7. NVIDIA up 1. Amazon, Google, Tesla, Microsoft. Tesla down 7, definitely standing out. Meta. And then I feel like I missed one. But I can't picture what it is. Nice. I appreciate you guys for going over and subscribing. Awesome. I think we're at a good place on this one. That's most of the news that I had from this morning when I was looking at. Oh, no, this is not what I wanted to. I wanted to get to here. When we're looking at some of the events to look out for today, for you traders out here, this 9:45 a.m. Eastern news, I think will move markets a little bit. Keep an eye out for that one. Also, for traders, we have a 10-year tips auction. I don't know if these are still moving it, but 10-year tips bond auction, 1 p.m. Eastern. Keep an eye out for that one as well. And then, like I was saying there, some of these earnings coming up after the close as well. If you're curious, this is what reports earnings tomorrow mornings. If any of you guys are trading any of these ones, which I don't think so. And as far as investors, I don't have any other too many specific things. Did you see that when everything was down, biotech was always up? Yeah, I did see biotech was looking pretty good yesterday. We'll see. Interesting to see how that ends up moving today off of UNH, that headline that came out. Obviously, it tried to move back up a little bit. All right, guys, team. Shout out Mikey B. Shout out Triggerman commenting in both the live chat and below the link. Daniel and Trader Girl, good morning. I appreciate you. CJ. Smitty. We got Koshin. And Carolina was in here instantly as well. I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys coming in and hanging out with me. Start getting this into your routine. I'm going to be doing this every single morning, 8:45 a.m. Eastern. I want to set the habit for myself. You guys set the habit with me. I'm not going to miss the days. You don't miss it with me. I'm going to be doing these on X. So I think there's a button that if you go to my profile, let's try it with someone else. If you go to my profile and hit this, okay, no. I thought there was a way that you can turn on notifications for a specific thing, but I guess not. Yeah, I tweet too much. You don't have to turn notifications on. Just make it the habit. 8:45 a.m. Eastern. I will be here. If you want notifications on my YouTube, you can. That one, like I am literally just doing the live streams. That's why I'm trying to promote that YouTube over as well. So go in, subscribe over there, hit that notification button, all that stuff. If you guys need to see that, you can scroll up in the chat. Actually, let's see if this works. What did that look like in the chat? All right. That is the link to the YouTube. If you don't want to miss these morning shows that I do, go in, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, just make the habit, come in here 8:45 a.m. Eastern or check it in the morning. And I'm going to be doing these live on X as always. BW, I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Yeah, listen, if I didn't have all you guys here, I don't know. I would just be talking to myself. So my goal here is always to deliver as much value, information, as much as I can. And I'm successful. There was a comment that I ended up with that really kind of resonating with me was like billionaires are just the people who created the most millionaires. And, you know, for me, I know that what I am doing here, I end up being successful when 10, 20, 30 years from now, I have helped hundreds of people really get to their investing goals, save for what they need to retirement. And yeah, my goal is to make as many millionaires as possible in any small way that I can help. And I know that will end up leading to the success. But I appreciate you all. We got spaces going on all throughout the day. Live content as always. I'm trying to do more and more live streams, so expect this. Have a great one, team. I'm rambling. I appreciate you all.